Someone is about to take a big risk just to be with you. Get ready, my beloved child. Stop for a moment and listen. There is something the universe has been quietly preparing for you, a hidden truth that has been weaving itself into your life in ways you may not yet see. Today, the veil is lifting, and what was once concealed is now ready to speak directly to your heart. This is not coincidence, this is divine timing, aligning in perfect harmony with your soul's journey. You might feel that small stirring in your chest, that gentle whisper in the quiet moments of your day. That is the universe nudging you closer to something extraordinary. A path has been set, and even if you cannot see the end, trust that every step has been divinely guided. There is a sacred energy moving behind the scenes, a hidden hand orchestrating events so precise, you will marvel at the synchronicity when it unfolds. And here is the revelation meant for you. Someone is about to take a big risk just to be with you. Get ready. Yes, someone is moving through unseen currents, guided by something far greater than themselves, driven by a connection that cannot be denied. The universe is telling you now, do not fear the coming shift. This is a divine signal, a hidden message written in the stars and whispered through the sacred moments of your life. You may have doubted, questioned, or waited too long for signs, but this, right here, is the gentle awakening of destiny. The universe is aligning circumstances, hearts, and courage in ways you cannot yet imagine. That risk, that bold step, it carries with it the potential to transform not only your life but your very soul. It is an act of devotion, a mirror of your own unseen desires, and it will bring clarity to the questions that have lingered in your spirit for so long. Feel it, this energy vibrating through the cosmos, touching your life, reminding you that you are never alone in your longing, in your hope, in your waiting. Something magnificent is on its way, and you are being called to witness it fully, to receive it with open arms, and to trust in the sacred timing that has been preparing this moment. Let your heart remain open. Let your soul stay attentive. The hidden is becoming revealed, and the universe is inviting you to step into a truth that feels both miraculous and destined. The journey ahead is filled with hope, clarity, and divine purpose, and it begins with your awareness, your faith, and your willingness to embrace the magic unfolding around you. Watch closely, for every heartbeat, every glance, every moment holds a secret message meant only for you. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel to walk further into the full revelation, and watch this complete video to uncover the hidden gifts the universe has been holding for your destiny. I also want to pass on a time-sensitive message from the moon to you. And you need to hear it today. A subtle yet powerful energy will push you to make a critical decision by the end of the week. You won't find the answer in your horoscope, so don't bother looking there. Click the link in the description to see your free personalized video moon reading. I was amazed at how accurate my reading was, and I know you will feel the same. Listen closely. Be still for a moment and let the noise soften, because I am speaking to you now. You did not arrive here by accident, and this message did not find you by chance. I see the questions you carry quietly, the ones you do not always give words to. I see the way you pause before trusting, the way your heart leans forward and then pulls back. Yet even in your hesitation, even in your waiting, I have been working. Something is shifting around you, and you can feel it, like the air changing before a storm, not a storm of destruction, but one of movement, of awakening. Someone is preparing to step beyond their comfort, beyond their fear, beyond what feels safe, because their heart is being stirred in ways they cannot ignore. I know you have learned to be careful. Life has taught you that not every promise lasts and not every voice is sincere. You have learned strength through endurance, patience through disappointment, wisdom through loss. I have seen every tear you swallowed so others would not worry, every moment you chose silence because explaining felt too heavy. Do not think those moments were wasted. They shaped your discernment, not your hardness. They refined you, not closed you. And now, because of that refining, you are standing at the edge of something meaningful. Someone has been wrestling within themselves, questioning their courage, counting the cost, wondering if the risk is worth it. And I am the one pressing gently on their spirit, reminding them that some connections are worth more than certainty. You may not see them yet, or you may already know their face without knowing their intention. You may sense them only as a presence in your thoughts, a name that surfaces unexpectedly, a feeling that arrives without explanation. Understand this: when I place someone on your heart repeatedly, it is not to confuse you. It is to prepare you. This person has been watching quietly, learning who you are, noticing the way you love, the way you stand back when you care deeply. They have seen your light even when you tried to dim it. And now they are standing at a crossroads, aware that moving toward you means changing their patterns, confronting their fear, and choosing vulnerability over safety. I am not the author of confusion, but I am the author of timing. What feels slow to you is often deliberate to me. I have been aligning details you cannot see, arranging conversations, creating pauses so that hearts can mature. This risk that is forming did not arise overnight. It has been growing in the unseen places, in quiet prayers, in restless nights, in moments when they almost reached out and then stopped. Every delay has served a purpose. I needed them to understand the weight of what they are choosing, not so they would be afraid, but so they would be intentional. What is coming toward you is not careless. It is considered. It is chosen. Do not underestimate the power of your presence. You think of yourself as ordinary, yet you carry a peace that unsettles chaos. You carry a truth that invites honesty. When you walk into a room, something shifts, even if no one names it. That is why this risk feels so big to them. To step toward you means to step into authenticity, to stop hiding behind familiar excuses. It means letting go of old narratives that once felt comfortable but no longer fit. I have been whispering to them, reminding them that growth often looks like fear at first, and that love, in its purest form, asks us to show up fully. I know part of you wonders if this is another test, another moment where hope rises only to fall. I know you guard yourself with reason, telling yourself not to expect too much. But hear me now, I am not leading you in circles. I do not tease hearts for amusement. When I invite you to be ready, it is because something real is approaching. Ready does not mean anxious. Ready does not mean chasing. Ready means open, grounded, aware. It means allowing joy to exist alongside caution. It means trusting me enough to believe that I can bring good without bringing harm. This person's risk is not just about reaching you, it is about becoming who they were meant to be. You are a catalyst, not a destination. Your presence is awakening courage they did not know they possessed. That is why they hesitate and advance at the same time, why their energy feels close and distant all at once. They are shedding old skin. They are unlearning patterns that kept them small. And as they do, they are realizing that staying where they are is more uncomfortable than moving toward you. I ask you now to release the need to control how this unfolds. Do not rush it, and do not resist it. There is a sacred unfolding happening, one that requires patience from both sides. Speak honestly when the moment comes, but do not force the moment to arrive. Trust that I am already ahead of you, preparing conversations, softening hearts, clearing misunderstandings before they even form. When the step is taken, it will feel both surprising and familiar, like something you have known deep down but never said aloud. You have prayed for clarity, for connection that feels aligned rather than exhausting. You have asked for something that does not require you to shrink or perform. I have heard those prayers. Even the ones you whispered with doubt. This is not about perfection. This is about resonance. This is about two paths that have been bending toward each other long before either of you realized it. The risk they are about to take is fueled by truth, not impulse. It is guided by an inner knowing that I placed there, a quiet insistence that some chances are sacred. As this draws nearer, you may notice subtle changes within yourself. Old fears may surface, not to stop you, but to be released. You may feel more reflective, more aware of what you truly want. Let that happen. Do not judge yourself for it. I am preparing you as well, strengthening your boundaries while keeping your heart soft. I want you to meet what is coming from a place of wholeness, not longing. You are not waiting to be completed. You are standing ready to be met. Remember this. Love that is guided by me does not arrive in chaos, even if it carries intensity. It brings clarity, even when it challenges. It does not ask you to abandon yourself. It invites you to be more fully who you are. When this person steps forward, you will recognize the difference. There will be steadiness beneath the emotion, intention beneath the words. And even if questions remain, you will feel a sense of grounding rather than confusion. I am asking you to trust the process without needing to see the entire path. You only need to take the next breath. The next honest step. I am holding what you cannot. I am guiding what you cannot control. And as this risk becomes reality, as courage turns into action, you will understand why I asked you to wait, why I asked you to grow, why I asked you to listen instead of rush. Stay present. Stay receptive. Stay anchored in truth rather than fear. What is unfolding is delicate, purposeful, and alive. And this is only the beginning of what I am revealing to you, because there is more I want you to understand about why this connection matters, about what it is meant to awaken in you, and about the season you are stepping into now. This season you are entering is not loud at first. It does not announce itself with noise or spectacle. It begins quietly, like a subtle warmth returning to a place that has known cold for too long. I am teaching you how to recognize my work not by force, but by peace. What is coming will not overwhelm you, it will align with you. And that alignment will feel unfamiliar at first, because you have grown accustomed to carrying tension. You have learned how to survive pressure, how to function while bracing yourself. Now I am inviting you to experience connection without armor, to witness strength expressed through gentleness rather than endurance. This person's journey toward you has been marked by inner conversations they never planned to have. I have been asking them difficult questions in the quiet moments. Why do you hesitate when your heart already knows? Why do you protect yourself from what could heal you? They have tried to reason their way out of feeling this pull. They have attempted to label it coincidence, timing, or imagination. But truth does not dissolve under scrutiny, it deepens. Each time they pull away, they feel the absence more clearly. Each time they try to settle for what is familiar, something inside them resists. That resistance is not rebellion, it is awakening. You may wonder why I allow such complexity, why I do not simply make things easy and immediate. Understand this, depth requires preparation. If I were to rush what is sacred, it would arrive fragile and unfinished. I am building something resilient, something capable of withstanding uncertainty and growth. The delay has not been a denial, it has been protection. I have been guarding both of you from meeting too soon, before clarity could replace projection, before intention could replace impulse. Now the ground is becoming steady beneath your feet, and you are both learning how to stand without losing yourselves. There is something important I want you to remember about yourself. You are not difficult to love. You are deep, and depth intimidates those who are not ready to swim. In the past, others may have admired you from a distance but retreated when intimacy required courage. That was never because you asked for too much. It was because they were unwilling to rise. This time is different. This time, the one approaching you has already been stretched. Already been confronted by their own patterns. They are not coming to consume your light, they are coming because your light has shown them who they could become. I know you have learned to read signs carefully, sometimes overanalyzing every silence, every shift in tone. You did this to protect your heart. I do not ask you to abandon discernment. I ask you to balance it with trust. When this step forward happens, it may not be perfect in its expression, but it will be sincere. Courage often trembles as it speaks. Do not mistake nervousness for uncertainty. Do not mistake slowness for lack of desire. Growth has a rhythm, and I am orchestrating it with care. You are also being prepared to receive without guilt. Part of you still believes that good things must be earned through struggle, that ease is suspicious. I am gently dismantling that belief. You do not need to prove your worth through pain. You do not need to shrink your expectations to avoid disappointment. What is meant for you will not require self-betrayal. It will meet you where you are, honoring the person you have become through every season of refinement. As this unfolds, you may feel moments of anticipation followed by calm, excitement followed by stillness. This ebb and flow is intentional. I am teaching you how to remain grounded even when emotions rise. I do not want you to lose yourself in possibility. I want you to remain rooted in truth. That way, when connection deepens, it enhances your life rather than consuming it. Love guided by me expands your capacity without erasing your identity. This person's risk will challenge old narratives you hold about how things begin. It will not follow the script you once imagined. There may be honesty sooner than expected, vulnerability that surprises you. Allow yourself to receive it without suspicion. You do not need to interrogate sincerity when it is offered freely. You will feel the difference between words spoken to impress and words spoken to reveal. Trust the quiet certainty that settles in your spirit rather than the loud rush of adrenaline. I am also asking you to forgive the past without reopening its doors. What hurt you before does not get to define what is possible now. You can acknowledge the lessons without carrying the weight. Release the habit of bracing for disappointment. That posture served you once, but it is no longer required. You are safe to soften. You are safe to hope again, not recklessly, but honestly. Pay attention to how your body responds as this draws nearer. Peace will arrive before answers do. Calm will precede clarity. This is how you will know that I am in it. I do not rush hearts into chaos. I guide them into alignment. Even the suspense you feel now is purposeful. It is stretching your capacity to wait without fear, to anticipate without anxiety. This is not passive waiting. It is active trust. The one who is about to step forward has already rehearsed the moment many times in their mind. They have imagined your response, feared rejection, hoped for understanding. What they do not yet realize is that I have been preparing you to meet them with wisdom rather than reaction. You will not be caught off guard in the way you once were. You will recognize the moment not because it is dramatic, but because it feels grounded, real, and present. I want you to understand something deeper about risk. Risk does not mean recklessness. True risk is vulnerability with intention. It is the willingness to be seen without guarantees. That is what is approaching you. And that kind of courage deserves presence, not pressure. Allow the unfolding to breathe. Let conversations take their natural shape. Do not rush to define what is still becoming. There is also healing woven into this connection, not as a transaction, but as a byproduct of honesty. You are not responsible for fixing anyone, and they are not responsible for completing you. Yet when two people meet in truth, old wounds lose their grip. Patterns soften. Hope becomes practical rather than abstract. This is the kind of restoration I delight in, not dramatic rescues, but quiet transformations. As you move through the coming days, notice the small confirmations, the way your intuition sharpens. The way old distractions lose their appeal, the way you feel more present in your own life. These are signs that you are aligning with what I am doing. You are not standing still, you are being positioned. And positioning often feels like waiting until the moment arrives and suddenly everything makes sense. I am asking you now to stay close to your inner stillness. Do not let outside voices rush you or plant doubt. What I am doing in your life is personal, intentional, and precise. Comparison will only blur what is meant to be clear. This path is yours, and it will not look like anyone else's. Honor that, when the risk becomes visible, when intention turns into action, you will feel a quiet recognition rather than shock. It will feel like a door opening that you somehow always knew was there. And even then, I am not asking you to leap blindly. I am asking you to walk consciously, with awareness and grace. There is more unfolding beyond this moment than you can see now. This is not an ending or a final arrival. It is an invitation into a new way of relating, a new way of trusting, a new way of being present. I am not just bringing someone toward you, I am expanding you for what comes after. This connection is a threshold, not a conclusion. Stay open. Stay anchored. Stay willing to listen more than you assume. What is approaching carries meaning beyond emotion, purpose beyond desire. And as the layers continue to reveal themselves, as courage continues to rise on both sides, I will keep speaking, guiding, steadying you step by step, because there are still truths you need to hear, still understanding that must unfold, and still a deeper reason this risk matters, one that touches not only your heart, but the direction of your life, the way you love, and the season you are about to walk into, a season that will ask you to choose presence over fear, trust over habit, and openness over old defenses, as I continue to draw the unseen into view and prepare you for what happens next. Now hear me clearly, because what I say next is meant to settle you, not stir you. You are not standing on unstable ground. Even if emotions rise, even if questions remain unanswered for a time, the foundation beneath this season is firm. I have not brought you this far to abandon the work I began within you. Every lesson, every delay, every moment of uncertainty has been shaping your capacity to receive without fear and to respond without losing yourself. You are no longer who you were when disappointment last defined your expectations. You are wiser now, more aware, more rooted in truth. That growth matters, and it will guide you well. This connection that is forming is not meant to distract you from your purpose, it is meant to align with it. I do not place people in your life randomly. I weave them into your story with intention. This person is not arriving to derail you or to become the center of your world. They are arriving to walk alongside you, to reflect parts of you that you have not always been able to see clearly on your own. Through this interaction, you will learn more about your voice, your boundaries, your capacity for joy without overextending yourself. You will learn that love does not have to feel like effort to be meaningful. I know you have wondered if you are asking for too much when you desire depth, honesty, and consistency. You are not. Those desires were placed in you for a reason. They are not demands, they are indicators of what nourishes your spirit. You were never meant to survive on fragments or half-commitments. What is approaching you has the potential to meet you in that depth, not perfectly, but sincerely. Growth will still be required, communication will still matter, but the foundation will be mutual willingness rather than one-sided striving. As this unfolds, I invite you to practice presence. Do not live too far ahead of the moment, imagining outcomes before they arrive. Do not retreat into the past, measuring what is happening now against what once hurt you. Stay here. Stay aware. Let each interaction reveal itself without forcing meaning too quickly. Trust that clarity unfolds in layers, and that you do not need to rush to label what is still becoming. The truth has a way of making itself known when you allow it space. You may notice that your prayers begin to change. Where once you asked for certainty, you may now ask for wisdom. Where once you asked for signs, you may now ask for peace. That shift is not accidental. It is a sign of maturity, of trust deepening. I am teaching you to listen inwardly, to recognize my guidance not only in external confirmation but in the quiet alignment of your spirit. When something is right, you will not need to convince yourself. There will be a steadiness beneath the emotion, a sense of rightness even amid vulnerability. The person who is stepping forward is also learning. They will not arrive fully formed, free of fear or hesitation. Courage does not erase humanity. But what matters is their willingness to grow, to listen, to show up honestly even when it feels uncomfortable. Watch how they handle truth. Watch how they respect your pace. Watch how they respond when things are not effortless. These moments will tell you more than grand gestures ever could. I will give you discernment, and I ask you to trust it. Do not confuse intensity with intimacy. True closeness builds steadily, through consistency and care. What I am bringing into your life may feel quieter than what you once imagined, but it will be deeper. It will invite you to rest rather than perform, to speak rather than assume, to receive rather than chase. This is not a test of how much you can endure. It is an invitation into balance. There will be moments when old fears whisper again, reminding you of what went wrong before. When that happens, do not shame yourself for feeling cautious. Simply acknowledge the fear and choose not to let it lead. Fear speaks from memory, I speak from possibility. You do not need to erase your past to move forward. You only need to refuse to let it dictate your future. I am with you in that choice, strengthening you each time you choose trust over withdrawal. I also want you to remember that your worth is not measured by how this unfolds. You are whole regardless of outcome. This connection is a gift, not a definition. Hold it with open hands, not clenched ones. When you release the need for guarantees, you create space for authenticity. And authenticity is where real connection lives. As the days continue, you may sense a shift in your environment. Conversations may become more meaningful. Distractions may lose their grip. You may feel a quiet excitement paired with calm. These are not coincidences. They are signs of alignment. You are stepping into a season where your inner world and outer life begin to mirror each other more closely. Integrity will feel natural rather than forced. Peace will feel familiar rather than rare. I am asking you now to trust me with the timing, the unfolding, and the unknowns. You do not need to manage every detail. You do not need to protect yourself from every possible disappointment. I am your shelter, your guide, your steady ground. When questions arise, bring them to me rather than letting them spiral within you. I will answer in ways that strengthen you, even if those answers come gradually. This risk that is being taken toward you is meaningful, but it is not the end of the story. It is a doorway. What lies beyond it will be shaped by honesty, patience, and mutual respect. You will have choices to make, boundaries to honor, conversations to navigate. And you will not face any of that alone. I am walking with you through each step, teaching you how to love without losing yourself and how to receive without fear. Now rest in this truth: you are seen, you are guided, and you are not late. Nothing about your journey has been wasted. Every delay has refined you. Every season has prepared you. What is coming does not require you to become someone else. It asks you only to be present, honest, and open to what is being revealed. Be ready not by bracing yourself, but by softening into trust. Be ready not by expecting perfection, but by allowing growth. Be ready not by guarding your heart, but by anchoring it in truth. What unfolds next will meet you where you are, and you will recognize it not by force or fear, but by a quiet knowing that settles deep within you. This is my promise to you: I am not finished. I am still speaking. I am still guiding. And as this message now comes to its close, let it leave you not with urgency, but with peace. Hold what you have heard gently. Carry it with awareness, not pressure. And step forward into the days ahead knowing that what is meant for you is moving toward you with intention, courage, and purpose. Remain open. Remain grounded. Remain trusting. And now, be at peace. Amen.